This is just going to be a quick little video about my thoughts concerning some bullshit on the internet today. So I'm not the biggest fan of Disney. I mean, with the way they treat their retail and amusement park employees, thanking labor camps facing human rights abuses in their movies, or changing the size of a black character on a poster in different countries in order to sell more tickets, there are plenty of reasons to dislike and boycott Disney as a company. But of course, if someone had to give a completely stupid take, it had to be a political commentator. Ben Shapiro, who I'm sure you've all seen or heard of before.
Yeah, you effin' with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word. I mean, a bucket and a mop? This sounds like there's something that is going on here that is not biologically normal.
Is a conservative American writer and media host who self-identifies as libertarian. This morning he uploaded this tweet. Disney works to push a not-at-all-secret gay agenda and seeks to add queerness to its programming, according to executive producer Lightyear Revenue. Parents should keep that in mind before deciding whether to take their kids to see Lightyear, which hits theaters this week. So, right out of the gate, I'm just gonna come out and say it, Ben Shapiro is homophobic. I mean, he'll say he's not, but there's only so many times you can call the acknowledgement of the LGBTQ community propaganda before the jig is up. First up, he mentions this quote from a video conference of Lightyear Revenue, who is a producer and director working with Disney. Now, as far as I know, she has nothing to do with Lightyear, which makes Ben's comments even dumber, but go figure. He quotes a not-at-all-secret gay agenda and queerness that she plans to add to Disney's future programming. Now, before going any further, let's look at the clip to get the context of the discussion.
Showrunners were super welcoming, Meredith Roberts, and like our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. And so I feel like I felt like it was, I mean, maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess something must have happened in the last they are turning it around, they're going hard. And then all that momentum that I felt, that sense of I don't have to be afraid to let's have these two characters kiss, let's in the background I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud of them.
As you can see, all Lightyear says is that she's excited that she didn't have to hide any signs of gay affection in the background, something that animators have been doing for literally years, just for a chance at 3 seconds of someone like them being in the background of a movie. And as for adding queerness to a show, I know for Ben and other conservatives, the concept of people different to you is completely out of the realm of possibility, but she is doing nothing but restating her excitement for the ability to include LGBTQ people in children's media. I mean, she literally explains that her not-so-secret gay agenda is literally the inclusion and the acknowledgement of people different than you, but that's definitely not what Ben and his followers heard. There is a small but growing group of conservatives that believe that Hollywood or the elite or liberals or someone has some secret gay agenda plan that has infected the media and the schools and is turning your kids trans or grooming them or something. Now, while I admit there are terrible people in every group, if you're unable to differentiate between two completely different beliefs, actions, and behaviors because of a shared sexuality, you're a homophobe. And it should also be made clear that any agenda of inclusion the LGBTQ people has wouldn't have to exist if people like Ben didn't exist. He continues by warning parents of the horrors of the Lightyear movie and continues with another tweet stating, "Children are not adults. What may be appropriate for adults is not appropriate for children. That this must be said demonstrates that our society is in a state of moral collapse." So this tweet seems to imply that a same-sex kiss is not appropriate for children to see. I'm not even going to do the whole "but you're okay with straight people kissing" thing, because the reason he says it's wrong is homophobia, and I think anybody with a functioning brain could see that. But then he follows it up with the most pretentious shit, that this must be said demonstrates that our society is in a state of moral collapse. Bro, the fact that a homophobic asshole like you even has a platform with as many followers as you do means society is just as morally collapsed as it was 80 years ago. Also, since this entire rant has been about Ben getting mad at what he calls propaganda in the media, it's interesting to note that he has no problem with the blatant military propaganda of Top Gun Maverick. The US Navy even had recruiters in the theaters, for fuck's sake. What could be a more blatantly obvious sign of indoctrination and propaganda? I mean, even if two women kissing on screen was propaganda, let's follow this to the logical conclusion. The worst case scenario for Lightyear is that your kid finds out that they're gay. The worst case scenario for Top Gun is that they join the army and get their head shot off. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the fact that maybe being a political commentator is not the best fit for Ben. You need to be able to think analytically, provide sources and information with context, and even have a sliver of human decency and empathy. Get a new job, prick, and let people exist in peace.